Hi there, beautiful souls. Thank you for watching. I'm Gabrielle, retired medium in Germany, and I like to share some of my otherworldly experiences and insights. So, this one is about the FAE Realm. After my mediumship trainment, when I had already contact with the deceased and I wasn't freaked out about that like some other people, it was kind of normal to me and I got used to that, so was okay. And one time I wanted just to have a little bit of holidays, and I was for a week with some friends in Austria, in the Alps, in some valley, and there are some small valleys. They seem as if time stands still there, and it's very calm and quiet and wonderful nature. And we had a little bed and breakfast there that was recommended by a friend. And the funny thing was, when we entered the bed and breakfast and drove with our car onto the yard, there were a lot of vases with flowers, and it was really nice. And when we went in to get into our rooms, I saw that in nearly every vase with flowers there was some kind of decoration. Like if you cut a piece of wood diagonal, so you have this diagonal plane, and on these things they drew they drew some kind of face, like the face of a gnome with eyes and nose and mouth, and a bit of this red hat that's always the hat of the gnomes in the fairy tales. They're always depicted like that. And I saw it, but I did not think a lot about that. So, in the first night at this bed and breakfast, I suddenly woke up in the middle of the night, maybe 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, because I heard something and I felt some movement. It was just like me lying in the bed, and there beside, I felt that there was jumping up and down, and I heard little voices that were shouting, come all here, she can see us, come on, this is one that can see us. And I looked with my inner eye and I saw all these gnomes and fairies and imps and whatever kind of fey creature jumping up and down with joy beside my bed at 3 o'clock in the morning, because I could see them. So probably it does not happen that often that some of the guests can see the other inhabitants of that area that are invisible to normal eyes. So I kind of felt honored and but also very tired. And I said to them, well, that's really nice of you, but can't you please come back tomorrow during the day, because now I'm so tired and I just want to sleep, please. And they said, okay, we're coming back tomorrow. And then they went off and I could sleep again. And then the next day was really bad weather. And I had decided to take a little walk. And I was walking more into the valley. And so I was walking, following a path that had on one side the hill and on the other side it went downhill. So you had a great view, but I did not have anything of the view because mist came up, it started raining, it was the beginning of the year, so it was getting cold and really uncomfortable. I love being in nature, but I don't like hour-long walks, and I don't like it if it's raining and cold and uncomfortable. So I was more or less already preparing to just turn around, not follow this path any longer, and go back to the bed and breakfast. And then I suddenly heard them again. And they were again this jumping with joy. No, come on, just around the corner, please. We want to show you something. And I was thinking, well, what can they show me in the rain and cold and the mist? I can't see anything. But after 3 meters, there was no more sight because the mist really, the fog got more and more. And they plead and beg, please, please, just around the corner, please. And I said, okay. And I walked around the corner. There was kind of a corner around the hill. And what I saw there really hit me like a sledgehammer because it was a very small piece which they grew little Christmas trees, you know. So there weren't high trees, it was a field of little Christmas trees. And from the top of all these Christmas trees, there were spiders' nets, but not, you know, the orderly ones that are circular. It was this kind of cluttered, untidy, like a carpet all over the little Christmas trees. And in these nets, there was moisture and there were glittering, gleaming little drops of water and mist, and they were shimmering and glittering like diamonds in some kind of nature tiara. And it was so wonderful. It was really to me like a wonder. And then I got it and I said, thank you to show me this wonder of Mother Nature. And they were laughing and happy that I made this little walk around the corner and that they could show that to me. And something else like that also happened to me once in Brazil. I was staying at a house with a little swimming pool, nice weather, warm, sunny sky, blue sky, and I was nearly dozing off, lying close to the pool. And suddenly, in this, it's kind of like a meditative brainwave state, like alpha or maybe already some kind of theta waves from the brainwave state where you are really, really relaxed and you're not thinking anything and you're close to dozing off. So, exactly at that moment, I heard the little voices again, and they weren't very different from the little voices of the FAE Realm I heard in Austria or sometimes in Germany. And they weren't even talking Brazilian. I understood them because it's telepathic communication. I understood the meaning of their words in German. And they were flying around me. I heard this little flaring of the wings, and these libella-like wings of the fae and fairy. And there was a lot of movement around me, and I heard them shouting, come up, please. We want to show you something. There's something happening right now. Stand up, come with us." And I was so lazy and so tired, and it took me really some time. And after a while, I got more close to being really conscious. So I got up, and they led me to a tree in the garden of that house, where just at the moment when I arrived, um, a flower that was on the tree, because in Brazil you have a lot of this kind of parasitic flowers that are like bromelia or orchidae. They are living on a tree as the host, more or less. And so this flower was right at the moment of getting big, springing up and blossoming. And it was just like a creation moment where, well, I've never watched a flower blossoming up like that. It was the first time in my life, and I thanked them afterwards because to me it was a wonder, and they called me right at the right time. So these are some of the things that I experienced with the Fae Realm. There are more stories. I don't know whether I should talk about all of them, just a few to give you an idea that they are real and they are there in the invisible realm, and most of them are positive because they're already higher up in 4D. They are in middle 4D. Only in lower 4D there's the kind of monster scary stuff and dark things. So that showed me as well that I was already moving up with my frequency to middle 4D, because if not, I could not have perceived them or heard them or get a kind of visual of them. And oh, there are so many stories, you know. One which I really like is about this crystal. I never really cared that much about stones and things like that, but they just started coming to me without me looking for them. All kinds of stones, and then came some crystals and gemstones and things like that. And I told in another video that I've been to the Bosnian pyramids, and I came in contact with a woman there, which I liked, and we felt some kind of bond. So we talked a lot during the coffee breaks, and she was a druid and was very much in touch with nature, more than I thought. And she was working with jewelry. So she had a little shop where she sold her self made jewelry. And she went to these fairies of gemstone sellers. And after we'd met at the Bosnian pyramids, we stayed in contact. And she had just been to a fairy like that to buy more gemstones or crystals or whatever to produce jewelry from in her shop. And she had this special seller from Peru who told her that he just got new crystals that he found more or less ready, just lying on the sole in a special area of his terrain, where he usually digged for stones and crystals. And that area was, during the last years, always covered with snow and ice, so he never could dig there. And then, with maybe the climate change, who knows, the temperatures were different. The snow and the ice receded and melted, and then on that ground under the ice, he found crystals like this one, just laying on the ground as if ready made for you to pick up. And he had brought some of these newly found crystals from his Peruvian land, and showed them to her, and she decided to buy some. And when she touched this one, she suddenly heard a voice inside of herself. I want to come to Gabrielle. Bring me to Gabrielle. And she just a few weeks before came to know me, and I was the only Gabrielle she knew. So she called me on the phone and told me, well, I had this funny experience with a crystal that I bought from the Peruvian guy. He newly found them under ice and snow on his land, and they were kind of laying there as if waiting to be picked up. And when I touched this one, it said to me, bring me to Gabrielle. And you're the only Gabrielle I know, so what do you think of that? And I said, well, I don't know. I never had that strong contact with crystals, although I already knew that former civilizations like Lemurians and Atlanteans from Atlantis, they worked with crystals like we nowadays do in our computers. They can store data, and like they're from the mineral realm, the stone and mineral realm. They how to call that, they made kind of their journey up to the highest point, because it takes some time and a lot of different influences or experiences to make something like this, under pressure. um, they become crystals. So you maybe also heard about the piezoelectric effect that drives your watch when you have a little crystal in your watch. So they have a lot of interesting properties, and they are kind of the highest state of the mineral realm to be evolved. And it happened to me. I said, okay, send me that stone. I'm going to take it, and I'm going to pay you for that. So okay, and I will see what comes out of that. So she sent me the stone, the crystal. Here it is, my little friend. And the first 3 days when I had it, I didn't even know why. I just kept it with me all the time. I had it in my trousers. I even took it into the bed with me. It was lying under my pillow during the night. And after that, I just placed it somewhere. And sometimes I look at it and I didn't know what to do with it. And it just happened to me like kind of a gift or a present, that a consciousness from out of this crystal contacted me and talked to me. And it was like the spirit of this crystal. And I felt that he's connected with all the other crystal spirits. And he was very, very wise. He appeared to me like a wise old man, totally in white clothes, with long white hair and a white beard, very clean and almost translucent. And he had such wisdom that I just could feel. And he told me a few things. And okay, that was my first contact with crystal consciousness. And I know now, because he told me, they are bridges into the next dimension. They can help you ascend, and they can concentrate energy. You can even start talking with them insidely, and maybe try your telepathic focused sending of thoughts or feelings, and look what's coming back. You can even meditate with them, hold them. They started coming to me without me looking for them, and now I have quite some crystals and stones in my flat, and I really like them because they are special. They are also helpers. So I'm gonna leave you with this, and I hope you. Oh no, okay, there's another story coming. I have to tell this one. Oh, that's a funny one. Okay, I was in the summertime again in the garden of a friend of mine, the shaman, with these long rows of apple trees where we sit under and talk or sing or make music or whatever. And this one summer Sunday afternoon, when I came to her garden, she has a daughter, and the daughter has horses. The daughter was in the garden as well, and she came by horse, and the horse was freely there on the land and was grazing, and was just like, I entered the garden and I saw the horse, and I saw the apple trees still with flowers, and it was like a picture from a fairy tale or a children's book, with a horse calmly and peacefully grazing. And then I sat down, and some time later, suddenly the horse started running like crazy up and down the whole terrain. And so the daughter of my friend tried to calm down the horse, and we were all astonished, looking like that. What happened? What's wrong? Anything wrong with the horse? Maybe it was stung by some kind of insect or whatever. And I suddenly had the crazy idea, why not? Your shaman and some other of the circle were also very empathic. Why not take this like an exercise and close our eyes and connect with the horse and ask what happened? What's the matter? Why did you run like crazy up and down on this terrain? And we did that. And funnily enough, when I closed my eyes and connected with the horse, the first thing I saw was there was a kind of greenish skinned imp sitting on top of the horse, and he was having some fun with the horse, not really tormenting it, but it was like being stung by an insect. He wanted to get attention. That's why he used the horse, and the horse agreed, and they made their up and down running. And the other ones only got the horse was kind of crazy or mad, and it just did that. And I thought by myself, well, no, there's something more. And I told my friend, the shaman, who's the owner of this garden, I told her, and the mother of the daughter of the horse, I told her, well, I saw a green skinned imp sitting on the horse and he wanted our attention. So it was the imp, not the horse. But the horse agreed and acted along with the imp. And I didn't know why he wanted our attention. And she also had no idea. So I went home in the evening, and at night, again, closely before I was falling asleep, I noticed that the imp had come to my bedside astrally with his fellows. They were more than just one, and they were jumping up and down beside my bed again. Hello, hello, you can see us, you can see us. And I said, yes, I can see you. What do you want? How can I help? And this one imp said, we want a mission, we want a task. We are connected with this land, but there's nothing we have to do. So you're the humans, you can give us a task and you can see us, so I can tell you this, and maybe you can find a task for us, a mission, or the owner of the land, talk to her again, please. And I was thinking about that, how to handle that, and what I could do to help them, and had no idea. And then suddenly it came to my mind that my friend, the shaman, had already told me that one or two or even three times at night, because this terrain is more outside of the living area of the village, some crazy guys break into the gardens and try to steal something, and they break open the containers or whatever the people left there to try to steal something and get some money out of that, selling it or whatever. Okay, not the nicest thing, but it happens. And because this came to my mind, I thought, well, maybe that might be a mission or a task for you. And I told the imp, there were already some breakups into the garden, and people came and tried to steal something. So, why not use your special capacity to scare them away? If ever somebody comes and wants to do bad things on this area, you can just drive them crazy and follow your own true power you have, and you are allowed to use it to protect the land and protect the things my shaman friend has there on the land in the garden. What about that as a task or a mission? And they were happy and said, yes, okay, we can do that. We will do that. Okay. And I told that to my shaman friend, and she said, oh, great idea. Let's see what happens. And a few weeks after that, she told me, you won't believe it. In all the gardens around, again, somebody broke in and tried to steal, but they did not enter my garden. And I don't know why. And I just laughed and said, well, That's the mission of the imps now. They are protecting your land and everything you have there. So, Chaka, that was a great story with a happy end, and with that happy end, I want to leave you. You can always ask the FAE Realm if you want some help. They're not bad, only a few of them, and it depends whatever you are radiating. That's the kind of companionship you attract. So we were all kind of good minded, and so they were not about bad things. And I only had two or three encounters with kind of negative entities from the Fey realm, but the overwhelming part was only positive, and they wanted to help, and they were so happy that a human finally is seeing them, because it's only few humans who know about them and who even care for them and contact them, ask them for help, or do something for them, because you can ask them, what do you need, can I help you? If you want some help of a friend, you always retrieve the favor. So I'm on a good relationship now with the Fey realm, and they're often with me, and I just love this energy. It's like child's laughter. It's easy and it's playful and it's just refreshing and wonderful. So, with that, I want to leave you. Have a good time, dear souls. Thank you for watching. Blessings, love, and light onto your path.